agreed. So in terms of the rate which we agree, all right, with this bank will be contractual. We have agreed with this bank that the rate of these US dollars to Kenya shillings will be 122 Kenya shillings per dollar in 6 months time. So when this 6 months duration comes up, right, the bank can say that, you know what, right now a dollar is going for 122, a dollar is going for 123 or 125. I mean, we had some predefined rate which was agreed. How about futures? Futures. So for us to be able to make a very good move, I would want to hear from you guys. I would want to hear from you guys about differences between futures, and forward contracts. Is anybody who knows any difference between these two, futures and forward contracts? I'll not start the lesson until I get 3 differences. Less risky, high risk. Futures is has a lower risk. Forward risk is high. Forward keeps changing. Really, no charity. Actually, it is futures which will even have its price changing. Yes. So in this case, ladies and gentlemen, futures are traded. They are traded on organized markets here, on organized futures markets. So they are traded on organized futures markets, right? Futures markets. And then we have, in this case here, forward contracts. These are basically arrangements here between what here? Between two parties. And that is why we call them what here? Over the counter contracts. Over the counter contracts. Arrangements here between two parties. Basically the investor and who? The bank. I.e. the investor, for example, here, and the bank. That I would want to buy a car from Japan, right? I need Japanese yens, for example, right? So I'll go and tell the bank that I would want to get some Japanese yens from you guys on this date, and therefore let's agree on some date. So 2 people over the counter, right? And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy with the students who are telling me that, you know what, here, you know, because it's an arrangement between what here 2 parties, even if it's a contract, I mean, when it's an arrangement between 2 parties, one party can easily default, and the entire contract in this case here goes through what here problems, perhaps through court of law to be resolved. So in this case here, the risk here is higher, right? The risk is higher. So we are saying number 2 here, lower risk. Cause of what here, somebody? Cause of the organized markets here, like the stock exchange. The government comes on board. There are insurances involved. So in this case here, the risk is high. The risk is high because there are only 2 parties involved. And in this case here, should one party feel like things are not going to work out, he runs away, you start following him through the court, and then you say, this one, no, I don't want to follow anymore. But remember, for futures, because we have them traded at the stock exchange, we call it stock exchange, but futures exchange market. If, for example, I have a problem and I would want to liquidate my futures contract, I'll simply go to the secondary market and do what here and sell I'll go to the secondary market and sell. That's very good. How about number 3? I've seen somebody mentioning something very nice for number 3. I've seen somebody mentioning something very nice. This number 3, what I've seen some students saying for number 3, futures versus forward contracts. I've seen somebody mentioning here that futures are what here are denominated in dollars. Futures are dollar denominated. They are dollar denominated. They are dollar denominated. They are dollar denominated. They are dollar denominated. And the forward contracts in this case here can accept any currency. Forward contracts here, forward contracts are open. They are open, i.e., they can work with any currency, i.e., can work with any currency, 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 can work with any currency. Is there any other point? Any other point? Any other point? Yes, now you guys are talking something very nice, that in futures, the size is normally fixed. In futures, the size is normally fixed, and the forward contract in this case, you can take up any size. Forward contracts, you can have forward contracts here accepting any size. So we are saying something very important here, that futures have a fixed contract size, a fixed contract size, whereas in this case here, whereas forward contracts can take any size. Can take any size. So you'll be told, ladies and gentlemen, that for example, futures here we have a future of say $62,500, contract size of 62,500, right? 62,500. But forward contracts, I mean, somebody can come and work it out. The investor and the bank can come and work out a forward contract of $2 million with even some points like that. So they can take any size. They can take any size. They can take any size. So for my case, I believe that, ladies and gentlemen, that is good enough. Those 3-4 points, they're good enough. Now you should be able to allow me to take you through these futures very nicely. And I have some book which I've shared with you severally, which I would want to read here. This is a book that I've really shared with you. Again, I'll be able to share. I'll be able to share again. I will be able to share again. Okay. Great. So currency futures, pretty similar with forward contracts, We are told here, if we buy a sterling futures contract, it's a binding contract to buy pounds at a fixed rate on a fixed date. So it's a binding contract that we shall be able to buy. So listen here, if we buy a sterling futures, so you have bought sterling futures contracts, you have an obligation to do what? To buy pounds at a fixed rate on a fixed date. This is similar to a forward rate, but they are okay. They are saying two major differences, but there are many differences here. Number one, delivery dates for future contracts occur only on 4 dates in a whole year, right? So we have end of March, June, September, December. So they are quarterly contracts. right? Number two, futures contracts are traded and can be bought and sold from to others during the period up to the delivery date, right? So futures contracts in between here, if you feel that you really need money, you can go to the stock exchange, you can go to the futures exchange, like what we call the famous LIFE, London Inter Finance Futures what here exchange, futures exchange. You can go there and do what here, sell your contracts there, your futures contract. For these two reasons, most futures contracts are sold before the delivery date. Speculators use them as a way of gambling on exchange rates. They buy at one price and sell later, hopefully at a higher price. To buy futures does not involve paying the full price. The speculators here give a deposit called the margin, and later when the future is sold, the margin is returned plus any profit on the deal or less any loss. The deal must be completed by the delivery date at the latest. So please don't write these notes. Do you guys have this book? Do you guys have this ACCA book? Do you have the ACCA book? I would want you to go and look at these notes later. Do you have this book? Do you have this book? If you don't have, I will be able to share instead of you guys starting to copy these things really, right? Yes, great. So I'll be able to share again. I've seen one no there. Now for me, what is of interesting to me is us understanding a question here. Understanding a question, right? So we are told here it is 10th September 2004. TPLC expects to receive $1.2 million on 12th November. So when do we expect to receive this money? 12th November 04. The spot on the 10th September is given here on the 10th September. And the futures price on the 10th September are, so we have the prices being given here, September futures, we have December futures, we have March futures. So the very first thing, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to do here, I mean, these are very interesting questions. I did these questions a long time ago. I know they're quite interesting, they're quite tricky, but we are geniuses. We should be able to understand this and run with the ball very fast. These are very easy things. Great. So what have they told us here? They want us to show the outcome of the futures what year hedge. So where should we start tackling this question from? TPLC expects to receive 1.2 million on 12th November 04. So the very first thing, ladies and gentlemen, that I have to make a decision about here, which futures am I going to work with? Will I work with the September futures, December futures, or March futures? Remember, I must work with the futures which are immediately available, immediately ahead of us. I've told you, we have got 4 types of futures, four future dates. Are you able to remember those future dates? Are you able to remember them? We spoke about them. We have 4 future dates. We spoke about them. The 4 future dates, is there somebody who is able to tell us that you've got 4 of them? Quarterly remember. Which future dates are these? Quarterly. End of when? End of March, June, September, and December. That is very important. Now, again here, thank you very much. Look at this thing. They want to confuse you. It is 10th September 04. So somebody will easily say, Mwalimu, let us work with the end of September futures. We shall use the futures which are close to the date when we receive the money. We are going to receive this money, 1.2 million US dollars, on the 12th of November 04. 12th of November 04. So the futures that we should choose to work with are which futures here? Should I work with September? Should I work with December? Or should I work with March? I want to now start seeing my geniuses. Which futures should I work with here? Which futures should I work with here? Please never be deceived with the spot date. We work with the date when we are going to receive or make the international payment. So since 12th November 04 is when we expect to receive, the futures date, which is immediately ahead of us, it must be December. It must be December. It must be December. It must be December. So if I'm the one doing this, I'll come and circle December 1.5045. This is so important to me. All the others are just noises on the way. Noises on the way. Once I appreciate that, then I'll be able to get a lot of marks really even without knowing what I'm doing. Even without knowing what I'm doing, I'll be able to get a lot of marks. I'll be able to get a lot of marks. Hey, listen to me. Hot air. Listen to me here. Listen to me here. Now, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. We have agreed it's December futures we're working with. Now, from there, what do I do? From there, I would want us to appreciate. I would want us to appreciate one thing. If you understand this, actually, you should close this class and go to do other things which are serious, because now the class will not be serious. If we understand this, then we should be able to close the class. This is very important. This is very important. This is very important. So in this case here, we are working with December futures. With December futures. Now, look at this. What is the transaction? We expect to receive 1.2 million US dollars. So when we receive this 1.2 million US dollars, what shall we do? We have received 1.2 million US dollars, right? Remember, this is an international, it's a foreign currency. So when we receive this money, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? When we receive this money immediately, we are supposed here to sell them. We are supposed, in this case here, to sell these to the bank. So in this case here, then we should sell the US dollars to the bank. Quite confusing with money markets. Sell US dollars to the bank. By the way, there is one thing that we need to define here. This company called PLC, where is it situated? What do you think in this case here? It is its home country. The home country of this company called TPLC. Can somebody guess for us? Where do you think is it located? Where is its residence? I'll be able to tell you this without even thinking at all. I'll be able to tell you this very fast. Remember, the currencies are two: dollar pounds. And because we expect to receive these dollars, so dollars automatically are foreign. So it means that this company is a UK company. This company is a UK. Let me look at your charts. This company must be a UK company. Yes, I can see you guys are doing well. This is a UK company. So sell. So once we receive this 1.2 million US dollars, we shall sell US dollars to the bank. Now, unlike money markets here, it says that we have got two options. Listen here. When we sell these US dollars to the bank, it means automatically the bank is giving me the pounds. The bank is giving me the pounds. I.e., it's like you're buying our own currency. Quite bad language, but i.e. buy the pounds. Buy pounds C from the bank. So this is very important to me. Once I appreciate this, then I'll have known the entire futures concept. That when this company receives this 1.2, and I would want even to explain this using the Kenyan case, we have a situation where somebody here called who now? Walter. Walter has answered my question here very nicely. And then I say, hey, Walter, please come and pick $500 from my office. So Walter comes. Walter is a Kenyan. He comes to corner house, 13th floor. He gets us there. We give him the $500. So Walter will put this money, for example, in his wallet. And then I can see Walter going with this money to some Forex exchange shop. So Walter will give the dollars to that shop. Walter will give the dollars here to Equity Bank. So Walter is selling the dollars to Equity Bank. So Equity Bank is giving him what here? Kenya shillings. So giving Kenya shillings basically means that it's like Walter is buying the Kenya shillings. He's buying the Kenya shillings as he sells the dollars. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen here. Now, this is the major thing here. We have what we call the contract size currency. The contract size currency. The contract size currency. Contract size will be always given. The contract size will be given. So the contract which is given here, the contract which is given here, contract size, what have they given us about contract size? They have told us here, look at this, look at this. They have given us here dollar per pound, but inside here we have 62,500 contracts. And they are denominated in which currency? They are denominated in pounds. So the contract size is denominated in pounds. The contract size is denominated in, leave this dollar per pound. Inside here, we have a pounds 62,500. So in this case here, we are saying here that the contract size currency is the pound. This is the pound. This is the pound. This is the pound, like that. And therefore, going by this, T will buy pound futures, pound futures, pound futures. If, for example, the contract size was denominated in dollars, I would have said T will sell. But because the contract size is denominated in form of pounds, then I'm saying here that T, as per the pounds rule, T will buy the pound futures. So if you have written this, could you kindly go there and underline this? This is so important to me. Please underline this, or rather highlight this. T will buy pound futures. Okay. Okay. So first of all, have you been able to write up to here? Have you been able to write up to here? Have you been able to write up to here? That's very important. Very important. So remember, this is very different from the money market. I started by telling you that. Very different from the money market. There are assumptions which you make in money market. If you try to use them here, Lucy, you'll always get confused. But there is nothing really to confuse. Nothing really to confuse at all. Nothing really to confuse at all. You'll be surprised. This is much easier than money markets. Great. Now from there, what do we do? The next step, ladies and gentlemen, you'll come and give us what we call number of contracts. So go ahead, the second last step. Give us number of contracts. Number of contracts, what I shall be calling the NOC. Second last step. I told you it's a straightforward thing. Number of contracts. So how do we get this number of contracts? Second last step. We know the money we expect to receive is 1.2 million US dollars. I'll come and divide this by the contract size. The contract size. The contract size. The contract size. Is there somebody who is able to remember the contract size? Is there somebody who is able to remember the contract size? Is there anybody who is able to remember the contract size? Oh, yes, the contract size is given here. It is 62,500 pounds. 62,500 pounds. So could you kindly divide this? Could you kindly divide this and give me an answer? Kindly divide this and give me an answer. 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 Kindly divide this and give me an answer, which will be a fake answer. A fake answer. A fake answer. A fake answer. Why? Because these are US dollars and these are what here? These are pounds. So then I would need to change especially this amount, the amount here up that we expect to receive. I would expect to change these to pounds. I would expect to change these to pounds. I would expect to change these to pounds, this US dollars. Do we have an exchange rate to do that? Do we have an exchange rate, ladies and gentlemen, to do the conversion? Is there somebody who is able to see the exchange rate to help us do the conversion? Is there anybody who is able to see an exchange rate to help us do the conversion anywhere? Anybody who is able to see the conversion rate? Because I have to convert this 1.2 million to pounds. They're not seeing the rate there. 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 They're not seeing the rate at all. They're not seeing the rate at all. They're not seeing the rate 50, 50, 54 spot is given. Remember now here we are working with the futures. We are working with the futures. Futures are rate, and you guys told me to pick the December futures. December futures, whose rate is 1.5045. You told me to choose the December futures. You told me to underline this. So 1.5045, 1.5045. So 1.5045. And if you remember here, this is given us dollars up here. It's given us dollars per pound. It is given us dollars per pound. It is given us dollars per pound. Now listen and listen to me very well, ladies and gentlemen. This one is the same as saying $1.5045 equals 1 pound. How about 1.2 million US dollars? How about 1.2 million US dollar? How many pounds will this be? 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 1.5145. 1.5145. Good questions there. Good questions there. 1.5145. Can I see 1.5145 here? I'm not seeing it at all. I'm not seeing it at all here. I'm not seeing 1.5145 at all. Nowhere. I can't see it here really. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, it's 1.5045, right? Dollar equals 1 pound. What about this? So in short, when I look at this cross multiplication, I have here 1.2 million times 1 divided by 1.545. So it basically means that I should have come and divided this here by 1.5045 just directly. And then I'll be able to get number of contracts in form of whole numbers. Number of contracts must always be written as a whole number. So take this 1.2 million, you divide by that, you divide by this figure, you give me a number, you give me a number, you give me a whole number. I want to knock in the form of a whole number. How many contracts are we talking about? How many contracts are we talking about here? How many contracts are we talking about? How many contracts are we talking about? Whole number 19, 13, 13. Just check again, Evelyn. There should be 13 contracts. You are getting marks. They are 13 contracts. They are 13 contracts. They are 13 contracts. They are 13 contracts. 13. 13. Now, listen and listen to me very well. I'll be able to repeat this. I know it's a bit crazy, but at the end of the day, it's something you really like. Trust you, me. It doesn't have so many steps. It doesn't have so many steps. Now we go to the last step, the last step, the last step, the last step, the last step. So the last step is here, ladies and gentlemen. The last step is here now. The last step is here now. The last step is here now. So remember, now we shall come to the closure. Now we are closing these December futures. We are closing. So we come here on the 12th. So mention there the last step, which is the closure step. The closure step here. The last step is the closure step. Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember we sold. That's what we said. We were selling. We sold the futures. We sold the futures. We sold the futures. We sold the futures at what price? We sold the futures at what price? We sold the December futures at 1.5045. We sold the December futures at 1.5045. Right? So of course, if we sell at the very beginning, at closure, we shall be doing the opposite. So at closure, we shall be buying. So then we will buy. So we buy futures at these people will always give you the closing rate. They'll always give you the closing rate. They'll always give you the closing rate. So have they given me the closing rate here? Have they given me the closing rate? Oh, yes. They have given me they have told me here on 12th during the closure, on 12th of November 04. I can see the spot for the money that I'm receiving here, and I can see the December futures. They are going at 1.5120. So we buy futures at 1.5120. At 1.5120. So can somebody talk to me? On closure, are we going to make a profit or a loss on these futures? Let me see whether the students who are trying to follow. Let me see whether the students who are trying to follow. I'll be able to answer you, Lucy, right now. So somebody, are we going to make a profit or a loss? Are we going to make a profit or a loss? A loss, yes. A loss, yes, because for us to be able to make a profit, remember the formula of profit. It is a sales minus, in this case here, cost. So the sales, our sales is this 1 point, what we sold this at 45, minus now what we shall be buying it at 51.20, which will end up giving me a loss of how much? Which will end up giving me a loss of how much? Which will end up giving me a loss. No. Machete, I can see your argument there. However, in this situation, there are times will be making profits and there are times will be making what are losses. If it's an option, that is when the bank will always have an upper hand, or you'll be able to have an upper hand. So what is the loss? Can somebody give me the loss here? Can somebody give me the loss here? Somebody just subtract there. Subtract there. Subtract there. Subtract there. Subtract there. What are we getting? 0 point. I'm so sure there must be somebody who is getting 7.5 times 10 raised to negative 3. Remember the way we were taught in high school. Remember the way we were taught in high school, when you get this 7.5 times 10 raised to negative 3 in high school, you were told you should write 3 zeros. You write 3 zeros before this 75. And then in between the first 2 zeros, you put what here? You put a decimal. That is what we were told in high school, if you can remember. They told us that if you're given, for example, like 2.5 times 10 raised to negative 4, no worries. You write how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you write 25. And then in between the first 2 zeros, you put a decimal there. You put a decimal there. If you went to a bad high school, they used to say like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How are you taught in high school to capture this thing? How are you taught? Be very honest with me. My first method or second method? First method or second method? First method or second? This guy is very honest. This guy is very honest. Okay. Okay, great. We shall overcome. Now from there, then what do you do? Come and give us. But we shall overcome. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. So in this case here, come and give us the total profit. So how do you get total profit? You'll take, in this case here, the number of contracts times contract size times profit per quality unit, the one that you have gotten here. So number of contracts, mulisema ni 13. Contract size mulisema ni 62,500. Profit per unit umesema ni 0.0075. So is there somebody who is able to give me, is there somebody who is able to give us, is there somebody who is able to give us this? Is there somebody who is able to give us the total profit? Is there somebody who is able to give us the total profit? You take the number of contracts times contract size times profit per what year somebody per unit times profit per unit. What are we able to get? What are we able to get? According to Charity, 1694, Lenny, 1694. But who are they? This figure. Remember, these are pounds, These are pounds, and these are dollars per what year? These are dollars per pound. So the pound and the pound will cancel out, giving me this one here, pound canceling out. So whatever you have here is the dollar, 1694. 1694 is 94. Those are dollars. Although usipopata ya ukifika hapo hiyo swali wachana naye. Ukifika hapo hiyo swali wachana nayo. And I would want to repeat from the very beginning. But before I repeat from the very beginning, let's check the answer here in this book. We check the answer here in this book, especially up to the point of getting the total profit in KASNEB. If you're able to get the total profit, we shall award you all the marks. We shall award you all the marks. So are you able to see the 1694 here? Is there somebody who is able to see this 1694? Is there anybody who is able to see the 1694? It's profit. It is profit. It is profit. Profit on futures. Or what they are saying is that when we began, we said it was a loss. Let me see here, 1.5, 120, 1.50, 45, and we bought. No, ngoja kidogo. This is supposed to be a receipt question. Just 1 minute. These are easy questions. They should not confuse us at all. Of course, the figures you'll get the same figures, but we should be able to get the exact whether it's a loss or profit. So just allow me to look at a different question so you can get to see where we are not getting this thing right. Let's check this out. Let's check these out. Yeah, don't worry about conversion. I'm worried about the loss. Now check this. It's 4th of May, and the treasurer of a Swiss company has identified a net receipt. I love this. A net receipt of US dollars 2 million on 10th of June. These dollars will need to be converted into Swiss francs. The treasurer has decided to use dollar Swiss franc futures contracts to hedge with the following details. ICE futures US, formerly NIBOT, options and futures exchange. Contract size has been given as $200,000. Price given in Swiss francs per US dollar. It's like that. The tick size they have given us there per contract. So we have expiry date, June, September. The spot rate on 4th of May is 1.21 CH per dollar. So they want us to calculate the financial position using the relevant futures hedge, assuming that the spot rate on the 10th is 1.275 and that the futures price is 1.276, like that. could we kindly try this question ourselves? I give you like 5 minutes. Don't worry. Try to make some argument, and then we compare notes. 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 Take a snapshot of this question. Take a snapshot of the question. Take a snapshot of the question. Take a snapshot of the question, and if possible, put it because we don't have this book. This book, unfortunately, we can't share it. These guys try to protect. Unlike the other book, they really try to protect their PDFs. Have you done a screenshot? Have you done a screenshot so that later you can copy the question? So that later you can copy the question. So that later you can copy the question. Have you been able to take a snapshot of this question? These guys are not talking to me. They must be very busy writing. They must be very busy writing. They must be very busy writing. Great. Thank you so much. So I'll give you like a minute. Just try to look at this question seriously. I know they have never tried bringing it up, and if they get a bad examiner like myself, I may try to send this kind of a question in some way. But of course, as usual, they can't pick someone like me. So I'm giving you exactly 5 minutes. We try to internalize this thing. It's not a hard thing. You'll be surprised. It's not a hard thing. It's not a hard thing. It's not hard at all. Mayom, great, great. Take a photo. Somebody should be able to take a photo and share it on WhatsApp for Mayom to pick it from there. Or Mayom, you're saying I should not send this question to KASNEB. Maybe Mayom is saying I should not send this question to KASNEB. Oh, but we get the video, Mayom, so don't worry. So if I were you, I can see some low-hanging fruit. I can see some low-hanging fruit. Which date of futures am I going to buy or sell? I can see some low-hanging fruit. Mom, don't worry about this. Now concentrate here, Mom. You'll be able to understand. It's a very simple thing. Don't even bother about the first one. Aha, Musika is saying September, June, September. Okay, my 5 minutes that I gave to you guys are not over. Let me just give you time to reason it out before I do it. Aha, so number of contracts I'm being told here by Charity, there are 8. No, they are not 8. The number of contracts are not 8, but I really appreciate your efforts, but they are not 8. They are not 8, but I really appreciate your efforts here. Oh, and a post question, sorry. Thank you so much. You guys are really getting out of your way to try to understand. Yes, I've seen somebody saying it's 10. I've seen somebody saying it's 10. Great. Great. Thank you so much. Is there somebody who has been able to reach at that point where we are talking of the profit or loss? Profit or loss. Is there somebody who has been able to reach that point of talking about profit or loss? Leah Simon. Great. I can see you here. Profit or loss. Molu, great. Anybody who has been able to get evaluate my NOC is 12. Let's try. We will be able to evaluate. We see whether, but it's supposed to be 10, Lucy. But we shall be able to work it out. Anybody who has been able to get profit or loss, 0.001 profit. At least you're the first one to post something, right? And I like the emoji you've used there. I like the emoji you've used there. Sasa move with speed, move with speed. Is anybody wants Mwalimu to do the question directly? Before converting. They're saying yes. The yeses are very many. The yeses are very many. MP Ogero. Yes, okay. Great, great, great. So let me do this. Great. So we are told it's 4th of May, and the treasurer of a Swiss company has identified a net receipt of $2 million on 10th of June. So very important when we are going to receive this particular money, 10th of June. So if it's 10th of June, you guys gave me the future dates, 4 dates in a year. And you told me we have March, of March, end of June, isn't it? End of September and end of December. All right. So in this case here, we can see 10th June, the end date, which is very close. The end futures date, which is very close, is end of June. So the futures price, which I'll be using, is this June futures price. Note September, note September. I'll use June futures price. Ladies and gentlemen, I would want us to understand this. I would want us to understand this. I'll have to change. Just a minute, I want to change my internet connection. Great. Meanwhile, I hope you guys are working out something. Meanwhile, I hope you guys are working out something. Okay. Okay, so the most important thing here is that look at this. When do we expect to receive this? It's 10th June. We expect to receive this money on the 10th of June. Okay, we expect to receive this money on the 10th of June. June. And then now we have the future dates. So future dates, of course, we have the end of June, end of December, end of December. Then we have March, if you recall those things like that. So the futures date, which is close to this, is end of June, end of June, end of June, end of June. So first of all, are we in agreement about this? We have September, end of September here. End of September, end of December, like that. The one that is closest here is the end of June. First of all, are we together regarding this? Thank you. Great. Thank you very much. Now, after that, ladies and gentlemen, then we must make a decision. We must make a decision. So as we make a decision, as I do this question, it will be very important for me to be able to share, first of all, the answer for us to see whether there is anybody who was able to get something. Please allow me to share this answer. Yeah. So it is this test understanding 3, test understanding 3, test understanding 3. Yeah, you can see in this case here, you can see in this case here, we have a loss, 112,000. I saw somebody mentioning a loss there. I don't know, it was a loss of how much? 10 contracts. Yes, at least you got something, isn't it? I saw somebody mentioning, did I see somebody mentioning 112,000 figure somewhere? I think I was dreaming. Did I see anybody mentioning? I think I dreamt. Okay, okay, great. Now there is something that I would want us to appreciate here, that the contract value here is in dollars, and we need to sell dollars. So we sell futures now. Very, very important. We are selling futures now. Is there somebody who was able to arrive at that similar decision? We are selling futures now. Anybody who was able to arrive at that similar decision? We are selling futures now. Is anybody who arrived at that decision that now we are selling futures? Somebody talk to me. Is there anybody who was able to arrive at such a decision that now we are selling futures? Very few, only one. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, here, we are saying that we expect to receive how much? We expect to receive how much? We expect to receive how much? How much do we expect to receive? They have told us something very nice here. They've told us something very nice here. It's May 4th, and the treasurer of a Swiss company has identified a net receipt of US dollar 2 million on 10th of June. So you expect to receive 2 million. So we are receiving 2 million. So receiving 2 million US dollar. Receiving 2 million US dollar. So two things about this. So when I receive these 2 million US dollar, I can see myself selling. So I'll sell them because I don't need them. So sell US dollars, and then of course I buy my own currency. My own currency I can see there is pound. So what will enable us to make a decision whether we are going to sell US dollars or buy pounds? We must look at the currency, the contract size, the contract size currency. The contract size given there, is there somebody who is able to tell us what the contract size? What is the contract size given in this question? What is the contract size given in this question? What is the contract size given in this question? What is the contract size given in this question? Is there somebody who is able to see the contract size given in the question? They're not talking to me. I don't know why. It is 200,000 US dollars. It is 200,000 US dollars. 200,000 US dollars. Now, if you are following, ladies and gentlemen, I'm humbly asking, if the contract size has been defined as 200 US dollars, given the actions that we have here, what do you suggest should we do right away? US dollar, US dollar. What should we do? Should we sell futures or buy futures? Should we sell futures or buy futures? Sell futures or buy them? Sell futures or buy them? James is saying buy. We buy. Buy, sell. Sell. We should, you see, the action here is really dictated by what here, by what is the currency of your contract size. And because the contract size here is in US dollars, and you have your US dollars in this decision, therefore we shall sell futures now. Sell futures now. You sell futures now. We sell futures now. We shall sell futures now. Lucy, at least that you got. You are happy with that. We shall sell futures now. Now, from there, we go straight out to the next step, which is the step of number of contracts. So number of contracts, ladies and gentlemen, I'll pick the amount that I'm receiving. The amount that I'm receiving is 2 million, US dollar. I divide this by the contract size. The contract size, which is 200,000 US dollars. And I was so surprised to see some of you saying that Mwalimu, we should be able to do what here? We should convert. Why do you convert and these are US dollars and these are US dollars? Is there something I'm not able to understand? Because we can only go to convert if, for example, this was in terms of Swiss francs, and this was US dollars. Here, are we going to do any conversion? Somebody talk to me. Are we going to do any conversion? Yes, somebody talk to me. No conversion at all. No conversion at all. No. No conversion at all. No. No conversion. Right? So please, if you did convert, you should be able to go there and put a wrong. You should be able to go there and put a wrong, especially if you are converting. You should be able to go and put a wrong there using a red pen, especially if you don't have very young kids. When you have very young kids, you must be very No, if you have very young kids, Lucy, you must be very careful with this. It could demotivate them. Even when they see Mami Daddy, they are getting, in this case here, wrong answers. They'll feel very bad. They'll feel very bad. So in this case here, we have 10 contracts. 10 contracts. 10 contracts. Great. Now from there, we go to the profit now. Let's see. So closure. Closure. So on closure, what do we have? On closure, there is something that we never said. There is something that we never said. We never said we are selling which futures? Which futures are we selling? You guys never told me that you're selling June futures. You never told me that you're selling June futures and the price. You never told me this. 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 We are selling June futures. You never told me this. We are selling June futures at this price of 1.220. You never told me this. 1.220, 1.220, 1.220. So price is given in Swiss francs per US dollar. So these 1.220, these are Swiss francs, Swiss francs, Swiss francs. These are Swiss francs, Swiss francs per US dollar. Swiss francs per US dollar. Why are we selling? Is it because you're in May? I'll be able to answer that in a moment. I'll be able to answer that in a moment. Okay, so in this case here, we are selling June futures at 1.22 like that. So please come to closure. So when are we closing this deal? Is there somebody who can tell me when are we closing this deal? Is there somebody who can give me the closure date? Is there somebody who can give me the closure date? Is there somebody who can give me the closure date? Is there somebody who can give me the closure date? It is the date when I receive this money. It is the date when I receive this money. It is the date when I receive this money. And I've been told here, calculate the financial position using the relevant futures hedge, assuming that the spot rate on 10th June is 1.275. I'm not interested in the spot rate. And that the futures price is 1.2760. So in this case here, we have the closure futures price. Futures price is 1.2750. 1.2750 Swiss francs per dollar. Swiss francs per dollar. Swiss francs per dollar. So ladies and gentlemen, please listen. I can see one chart here before I repeat. Yes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen here. Please listen here. So if I sold here on closure, what am I doing? We are buying, isn't it? We are buying. On closure, we are buying. Now, closure, we are buying. So closure, they have told me that closure, we are buying. So then could you kindly tell me what is the profit? What is the profit? Could you kindly go ahead there and calculate the profit? Please go ahead there and calculate the profit here. Go ahead and calculate the profit. Remember, profit is selling minus buying price. Profit is selling minus buying price. 1.27, not for future. I could be wrong. I use spot. I could be wrong. Let me check there. 1.27, not for future. I could be wrong. Let me check there. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It's 1.2760. Yes, I picked a wrong one. It's supposed to be futures price. 1.2760. 1.2760. 1.760. Thank you very much. 60. Aha. So the selling price is how much here? Oh, yay. The selling price is how much? The selling price is 1.2. 1.22 minus buying price, buying price, which is 1. What here, somebody? 1.2760. So can somebody give me this? It's supposed to be negative something. It's supposed to be negative something. It's supposed to be negative something, 0.056. 0.056. So basically, it's a loss on our side. It's a loss on our side. So could you kindly then go ahead and give me the total profit? Kindly go ahead and give me the total profit. Kindly go ahead and give me the total profit. Go ahead and give me the total profit. Go ahead and give me the total profit before I explain what Sharon was asking here. Total profit. Is there somebody who knows how we'll be able to get this total profit? Is there somebody who knows what we shall do to be able to get the total profit really here? Is there somebody who knows what we shall do to be able to get the total profit? You know, it's profit so long as you put a negative, you've taken care of the loss, right? So long as you put a negative there, it's okay. So in this case here, we shall talk over number of contracts times contract size times the profit. Call it profit per what here, per unit. Number of contracts, you guys gave me 10. Contract size was 200,000. And the profit per unit, you've just given me negative 0.056, which in this case here, Candy gives me 112,000. 112,000. In this case here, Swiss what here? Swiss francs. Delete the buy and the sell. The buy and the sell. I delete the buy and the sell. Could confuse somebody. Delete the buy and sell there. Could confuse somebody. Could confuse somebody. So in this case here, we have a negative there. So before we do another one, I would want to answer Candy here. Great, great, great. I would want to answer Candy here. Yes, it's a very simple logic, really. Very, very simple logic, really. Very simple logic, really. It's all about you knowing the direction of your, or rather your decisions in terms of your foreign exchange. In terms of your foreign exchange. So for her, of course, I know she's not alone. You must be many of you here. I would want to repeat this question here from the top very fast. Very fast, very fast. Very fast. Just try to see the direction that we are taking here, and then we repeat the other one that we did. We see whether Mwalimu was wrong or the book was wrong. I rarely get wrong in these things. This is something that I even did as a subject, risk management. So it is 4th of May, and the treasurer of a Swiss company has identified a net receipt of US dollars 2 million. When we were doing money markets, we said something very important. When we were doing money markets, somebody has promised to give you how much? US dollars 2 million. US dollars 2. I'm not even looking at the date. So in this case here, a receipt of 2 million USD. So then I've got two decisions here, two things, two options, I mean, right? So with these 2 million US dollars, I would want my own local currency, which are Swiss francs. So I would want to go and sell them. So in this case here, sell the USD. That's the first thing that I will think about. So as I go to the bank to give this bank people the US dollars, what are they giving me in return? What are they giving me in return? These guys, what are they giving me in return? When I give them the US dollars, what are they giving me in return? The Swiss francs, isn't it? The Swiss francs, the Swiss francs. Okay, the Swiss francs. So in this case here, we have here the Swiss francs. The Swiss francs. So then if they're giving me Swiss francs, it's as good as doing what here, opposite of this. I bought them. I'm going to buy them. So in this case here, buy. Now, to be able to know whether I will be buying or selling futures, I'll be buying or selling futures, I must look at the contract size value. The contract size value. Value currency. What in this case you are seeing that book calling CC, the contract size currency. The contract size currency given here is 200,000 US dollar. Is 200,000 US dollar. Is 200,000 US dollar. So US dollar currency is a US dollar. What are we doing with the US dollars? We are selling them. We are selling US dollars. And if that is the case, therefore, we shall sell we shall sell futures. Futures, and in this case here, they are June futures. They are June futures. If, for example, this 200,000 was 200,000 Swiss francs, then what would have I bought? What would have I bought? In this case, of course, ladies and gentlemen, listen, if this was to be Swiss francs, then automatically I would have bought June futures. I would have bought June futures. Thank you very much, Jacqueline. The contract size is what will help us know whether we are selling or buying futures. That is the thing. That is the thing. The contract currency. The contract currency. Once you have the contract currency, you'll be able to know. If this contract currency of yours is the US dollars, then you know straight away US dollars, what am I doing with them? I'm selling. If this was to be Swiss francs, I'm buying them. So I'll have bought futures. I'll have bought futures. All right. Now, remember what we also said here. Maybe you came in late. Maybe you came in late. Remember what we also said here. Contract, good questions. Contract currency or size. You know, the size is 200,000. So it has a currency. You know, the size has to have currency. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Great. So we shall sell futures, which are June futures. Now, remember again here what we have just said, because I've seen some other question there. When do we expect to receive this money? Right? We expect to receive this money on the 10th of June. 10th of June. And then from there, remember the 4 dates. 4 dates. This is when we receive money. Don't talk of 4th of May. 4th of May is just hot air. Useless date. When we expect to receive this money is on the 10th of June. So remember now the 4 dates, the 4 dates. So after 10th of June, I know the nearest date will be end of June. End of June. We have end of September. End of September. We have end of when? December. And then we have end of March, lastly. So we move like that. So the one that is closest here is not September. The one that is closest to when I'm receiving the money is end of June. End of June. It's end of June. The one that is close, end of June means end of the month, end of the month. If you go for September, of course, you'll get a 0. You'll get a 0. So now are we together now? Can we go to a different question now? Can we go to a different question now? Is it becoming clearer? Great, great. Now then you guys will do me a favor. You guys will do me a favor. You guys will do me a favor. You guys have to do me a favor. Let's get back a little bit. Let's get back a little bit here. In terms of this month. No, we can never move back, Linda. We can never move back. 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 We can never move like from June 10th, you go back. No, no. Of course, they give you so many dates. It's you to know that these dates are, some of them, of course, are what? They're there to confuse you. They're there to confuse you. They're there to confuse you. Great. Great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, then here we are. So let's now try this question again afresh. Oh, Mayom is raising up his hand. Did I miss your question, Mayom? Did I miss your question, Mayom? Mayoma, I can see your hand is up. I'm trying to give you. I think you disappeared. Okay, so now let us try reasoning out this question with you, and then we see. Let's try reasoning out this question with you from the beginning, because it's like either I got it wrong or something. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with the different no, let's just now do this question. Sorry, let's do this question to the end. Even this one has got a different currency. Yeah, let's do this question from the beginning to the end. It is 10th September 04, right? And then they are telling us TPLC expects to receive 1.2 million on 12th of November 04. Now listen here. Listen here. So it is 10th September. It is 10th September 04. 10th September 04. Hot air. Because the effective date, like I can see Lenny is trying to make an argument there. The effective date is a receiving date. Receiving date. So we expect to receive this on when? We expect to receive this on when? We expect to receive this on when? We expect to receive this on 12th November. 12th November 2004. This is when we expect to receive. Now from there, roll forward your dates of futures. Roll forward your dates of futures. Roll forward your dates of futures. So your dates of futures from 12th of November 04. Which one is the nearest date? Can somebody talk to me? The nearest date, future date, nearest future date. We are talking of December, yes. End of December. End of December. From then you can talk of March and way, whichever now. Whichever now. So please, this date is kept there to confuse you. It's kept there to confuse you. Great. Now from there, ladies and gentlemen, please listen. We're not end of November. Remember when we began the topic, what did I tell you? I told you that futures, we have got exact dates when you can not transact, but exact dates of delivery. Exact dates of delivery. They are quarter dates, end of quarter dates. So we have March, we have June, we have September and December. You cannot use any other date in between. In between. Not among the dates. Quarters, yes. Quarters, not among the dates. Great. Thank you very much. So end of December. And again, if you try to use, even these guys will easily help you. Yeah, you came in late, Ogero, you came in late, yes. But I hope now you're able to pick it now. Great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember here, what have they told us? Remember here, what have they told us? They've told us here that this particular company expects to receive how much? This particular company expects to receive 1.2 million. So it's a receipt, 1.2 million US dollars. So could you kindly tell me in this case here, sell what, buy what? If you're following, you've got two currencies. We've got two currencies. We've got two currencies. We've got two currencies. We've got two currencies. We have dollar and the pound. So in this case, we have received the dollar. So what am I supposed to do here in terms of our two decisions? In terms of our two decisions, in terms of I've received this in terms of our, so in this case, you sell US dollar. Thank you very much. So sell US dollar and then buy what here? Somebody buy the other currency, which is the pound. Buy the pound. So from there, I'll go to the contract size. From the contract size, a currency, the contract size currency these guys have given me, the contract size currency that these guys have given me, the contract size currency that these guys have given me is 62,500, 62,500, 62,500 pounds. Now, based on the contract size currency, could you kindly then tell me which futures am I going to buy or sell? Am I going to buy or sell the futures based on the contract size? We are buying, isn't it? We are buying because you can see pounds are to be bought. But now you don't say that you are buying pounds, eh? No. Now in this case, you come and tell us buy buy, you can call them sterling pound. Okay, buy pound futures. For which month? For which month? For which month? Buy pound futures for which month? They've forgotten that. For December, for December, for December. At what rate? At what rate? December futures are going at what rate? December futures are going at what rate? December futures are going at what rate? December futures, you can see them here. December futures are going at what rate? 1.5045. 1.5045, like that. 1.5045 cows. Cows. Are they cows? Are they cows? Are they cows? I can see the rate given here. Dollars per pound. We have here dollars per pound, like that. Dollars per pound, like that. The moment I've reached, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be able to get all the marks. I will be able to get all the marks without knowing what I am doing, without knowing what I am doing, because I know that the next thing after this is to get the knock. The next thing after this is to get the number of contracts. Yes, come and give me the number of contracts. So number of contracts, this is very easy. Number of contracts, I have 1.2 million. 1.2 million US dollar all over 62,500 pounds. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the person who taught me this told me that for number of contracts, the two amounts here must have the same currency, must have the same currency. And I know the exchange rate. So the question is, this exchange rate here, should I multiply it with 1.2 million or divide the exchange rate? The exchange rate is in form of dollars. If I try to take 1.2 million US dollar times this dollar, the answer I'll get will be dollar squared. What you are taught, if you can remember those old days, you can't take a dollar, you multiply it with a dollar, you'll end up getting dollar squared, which is inappropriate. What we are taught, whenever you see the currencies here being the same, what you need to do is to come and say here, divide by, divide by these 1.5045, so that the dollar will cancel, and then I'll be left with pounds, which will ultimately cancel with the pounds down there. So is there somebody who will be able to give us the number of contracts now in full? Yes, number of contracts in full, a whole number. What are we talking about, somebody? What are we talking about, somebody? Number of contracts, a whole number. What are we talking about? How many contracts do we have? 13 contracts. So we have here 13 contracts. 13 contracts, thank you very much. 13 contracts, thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, having gotten these, the next thing that now I need to do is to go and close the deal. Closure. Let's go and close the deal. Let me give you a minute to see whether there is anybody who will be able to close the futures deal. Closure of futures deal. Don't use the spot prices given there. It is a futures price. So when I'm closing here, I would want to go, of course, closure is when I'll be receiving this money. When I'll be receiving this money, on closure, when I'll be receiving this money, on closure, for the future, on closure, December futures I can see here. So on closure, what am I going to do with these futures? Remember here when I was beginning, I bought them. So in this case here at closure, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, that's still okay, my home. That's still okay. Yes, we're able to get the same answer. Yes. So on closure, what are we supposed to do if we bought here? On closure, the opposite, isn't it? We sell. So sell at what price? Sell futures at. We sell futures at what rate? They have given us the closure. Closure rate will always be given. They've given us the closure rate, which is 1.5120 dollars per pound. So then what I'll do is to come and get the profit here. So please come here and give me the profit. Thank you so much. Give me the profit. So go ahead and give us the profit. Go ahead and give us the profit. Go ahead and give us the profit. Remember, profit is sell minus buy. So our selling rate is how much? Is 1.5120. I think I must have confused the other one. So the book is right. 1.5120 minus the buying price. Buying price is 1.5045. 1.5045. 1.5045. 1.5045, which then will end up giving me 0.0075 from Musika. Christine, this must be new students, eh? I'm happy at least they're trying to follow. I'm happy because they're trying to follow. Yeah, I must have been wrong. I don't know what you confused in the other one. I don't know. I really confuse these things. Hizi ni kama nilisoma nikatafuna kitabu ikaingia kwa akili mara moja. Great. Is it 0.0555 or 75 or 75 or 75? What do we have there? Please talk to me. 75, eh? 75. So it is 0.0075. So from there, go ahead and now give me the total profit. The total profit will be equal to the number of contracts times contract value times profit per unit, where the unit could be the per pound, whatever. So number of contracts, you guys gave me a figure of 13. Contract size is 62,500. Contract size is 62,500. Okay. 62,500 times profit per unit. I must have confused the other one. It's good. ACCA gives us answers. Times profit per unit, which is 0.0075, which then will end up giving us what figure at the end of the day? Total profit of 60.94. That's how they got that 60.94, like that. 60.94, like that. 60.94. What I don't know is whether they are cows or donkeys or what are they. But to me, really, that doesn't matter. Can we use the converted contract price? Yes, you'll end up getting the same answer, but normally it's important that you convert the total amount. The contract is the contract is the base. The contract is the base. So currency, of course, if you have, these are pounds. So I know the pound here will cancel, eh? So I know that these will be dollars. But nobody, I mean, how many students in Kenya can get this kind of a question correctly up to here? Very few. Nobody will penalize you that you don't have the sign, the currency there. Nobody will penalize you. Nobody will penalize you. So can I give you now one you try? Can I give you one you try? Let's see. This is very tough. This is very tough. This is for very tough people. This is for tough people. We shall overcome. I like that. Now, the other thing that I wanted to ask you guys before I send you a question